Hi everyone and welcome to my April TBR video. This is some of the books, I'm not going to show you them quite yet. But yeah, I'm just going to go through all the books that I'm hoping to read in April. It's already, what date is it today? It's already the 5th of April, so I have actually finished one book so far, but I'm not going to mention that in this video. I'm going to let you wait until my April wrap up at the end of the month. But anyway, I'm going to go through the books that I'm hoping to get through this month, and I'm really hoping that I do get to them all because I've got quite a lot of books that I do need to read and I just want to get through my TBR list basically. I'm going to start with the physical books that I want to read this month, and then I'll go on to books on my Kindle. One of the books that I want to read this month is, I have just started this. I've only read about 30 pages, which is the prologue. It's quite a long chapter actually. But this is 13 Weddings by Paige Toon. This is a romance, obviously, as you can tell from the cover. But I've read the prologue, which so far all that's happened basically is this girl has gone on a hen do for her friend's wedding and she meets this boy and they obviously have a bit of chemistry, and then they leave it at the end because she lives in Australia, so she's going back to Australia, so obviously they know nothing can happen, so it kind of just gets left. And then I think later on in the book she meets him again because she becomes like a wedding planner or something, a wedding photographer, that's it. And somehow she comes across this guy again that she met in the hen do. And I've heard also that there's a love triangle in this as well. So some love triangles I enjoy, some I don't. So hopefully this one is done well. But so far, I mean, I'm enjoying it so far, I suppose. It's only been about 30 pages, so I can't really judge it too much. But I want to finish this soon. That's one of the first ones I want to get to. I also would like to read Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which was on my TBR for last month, but I didn't get round to it. I just ended up reading some other things instead that wasn't on my TBR. But anyway, I definitely do want to get to this. Also, the audiobook of this is on Libby. I think it's Libby, or is it BorrowBox? One of the others, it's on that. So I'm on the waiting list for that, and I think I get it in about a week's time. So then I'm going to read it at the same time as listening to the audiobook. I haven't read any Emily Henry books before. This would be my first one, and I'm excited to get to it because I've got all 3 of her books, apart from Happy Place, her newest release. I've got all of them, and yeah, I just need to get to them because I've heard great things about her books. I also would potentially like to get to The Bride Test by Helen Hoang, which is the second book in the Kiss Quotient series. And I'm not actually sure what this one is about. I haven't even read the synopsis. I'm going to kind of go into this one a bit blind. They're all about a main character who's on the autism spectrum. So obviously you kind of learn a bit about that as well, because I'm like not really well educated on stuff like that. So it's quite interesting to get to know how their brain works, or how they're different from anyone else. And also I think they show you that you can be normal as well if you've got something like that. But yeah, I'm hoping I enjoy that. I did enjoy the Kiss Quotient. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars, so I'm hoping I enjoy this one as well. So that's another one, and that one's quite short, so that shouldn't take me too long to get through. Another book I would like to potentially get to is Angelfall by Susan E., which is the first in like a dystopian fantasy series. I've got the whole series. I've had them for years. I think I've had them for a long time, and I just finally need to get to this series. I haven't really heard anyone on BookTube or on Bookstagram talk about this series, so I'm just going to kind of go into it. I'm going to read the back in case you haven't heard of this series before. So it says, "It's been 6 weeks since the angels returned to Earth and destroyed the world as we know it. When they fly away with a helpless little girl, her sister Penryn will do anything to get her back." That's it. That's all it says. So I don't really know too much about this, apart from it's obviously got angels in it, and it's a dystopian kind of thing, because obviously they've returned to Earth and destroyed the world as we know it. So I'm assuming it's kind of like a dystopian fantasy, but hopefully enjoy this. It's quite short, and all the books in the series are reasonably short. I think it's a YA as well, so hopefully it'll be quite easy to get through, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. I'll let you know at the end of the month. Hopefully I do actually get to it, because I need to. And also I'm kind of in the mood for a thriller at the moment. So I've picked out a few thrillers here. I've picked out 3. I won't get to all of them this month, but it's kind of, I'm trying to pick between them. So I've got here Then She Was Gone by Jewell, which I've heard recently a couple of booktubers talking about, and they did really enjoy it. So I'm hoping to get to that. God, the font's actually quite big. Don't know if you can tell from that, but the font looks quite big actually, so it might be quite quick to get through. But I've read a couple of Jewell's books and they've been enjoyable, so that's one of the options. Another option is In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I've heard some good things about Ruth Ware's thrillers. I've not read anything by her before, so that is another option. And also Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I've not read anything by him before, and I've been dying to read some of his books. So this one does sound very similar to Five Survive by Holly Jackson, because it says one passenger, one night, one road trip, one suspected serial killer behind the wheel. So it sounds kind of similar vibes to Five Survive, which I didn't enjoy that much. I mean, I did, but it was a bit of a disappointment. So hopefully I enjoyed this one more, and I've heard amazing things about his writing and his thrillers. Apparently he can do no wrongs. I think that's probably at the top of my list to read out of the three, but I don't know, I might change my mind, or I might go in a complete thriller mood and just read all three of them. I have no idea, but they are the ones I'm going to choose from out of the thrillers. And the rest of the books that are on my April TBR are actually on my Kindle. So there's some that are on Kindle Unlimited. So there's The Heart of the Raven Prince by Tessonja Odette, which is the second book in the Entangled with Fae series. They're like fairy tale retelling books. And each book is based on a different fairy tale and based on a different character within the world. It's like a Fae world. There's like Fae, half Fae humans as well. So there's that kind of twist to it as well. And I've really enjoyed the first book, and I am really enjoying this one as well. I've got about an hour and a half left of it on Kindle, so I'm about 80% of the way through. I'm definitely really enjoying it. I'm probably going to give it 4 stars so far, unless the ending like blows me away or disappoints me, but at the moment it's definitely, I'm really enjoying it. And I also would like to get to the third book in the series, which is called Kiss of the Selkie or something like that. Apparently that's a Little Mermaid retelling, so that would be interesting, because I don't know, well I do know the story of the Little Mermaid, but it wasn't one that I know super well. But it sounds really interesting, and yeah, they're on Kindle Unlimited as well. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, I definitely recommend to pick these up, because I think it's a really underrated series, to be honest. I'm really, really enjoying it. Another book that I would like to get to, hopefully, it's on Kindle Unlimited also, and it's Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I've heard a lot of people talking about this recently. It's like a cowboy romance. It's based on a ranch, and apparently it's got like really, you know, country vibes and stuff, and apparently it's really, really good. Everyone's been raving about it, giving it like 5 stars, so I'm excited to get to that. Hopefully I will. I think they're quite long as well. They're like 400 and something pages, but on my Kindle I tend to get through books quite quickly for some reason. I think it's because you can see how long you've got left in the chapter, so you can see, oh, have I got time for another chapter? Yes I have, you know. It just kind of helps me get through books quicker. So anyway, hopefully I'll get to that as well, as I've heard really, really good things about it, and I would like to get to that and hopefully continue with the series. And on my Kindle, I'd also like to get to Addicted After All, which is by Krista and Becca Ritchie. It's the final book in the Addicted series, so I'd like to get to that, so that then I finish that, and then I've just got 3 of the Callaway series, which is like entwined with the Addicted series, so then I'll only have those 3 left, so that would be exciting. But hopefully I will get to that. They're quite long books, but I do get through them quite quickly, because they're really like interesting. I love the characters, and they're like page turners, so hopefully I will get to that quite quickly as well. And then the final book on my Kindle, which is on my April TBR, is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. It made me want to read this because I saw that the audiobook is on Libby or BorrowBox, one or the other, and I thought I could read along on my Kindle as well as listening to the audiobook at the same time, because it's a book that I'm kind of worried about reading, because I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy Sally Rooney's writing very much. So I thought if I listen to the audiobook, it would help me get through it a little bit if I'm not enjoying it or struggling to get into it or something. But hopefully I'll get to that as well. Something a little bit out of my comfort zone, because it's not necessarily the sort of thing I would read particularly, because it's not like a romance or anything. It's kind of like a slice of life kind of like book. I don't really know much about it, to be honest, but I've just heard Sally Rooney's writing is kind of like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. So I will see what I think. Hopefully I get to that. So how many books have I got on my TBR? It's like 10, 11, 12, counting the thrillers, but obviously I probably won't get to all of those thrillers. So that is the physical pile, and then I got the 5 on my Kindle as well. So I will let you know at the end of the month which ones I end up getting to and what I think of them. I'm feeling quite positive about reading all these. I feel like I'm going to enjoy loads of them. If you have read any of the books I've mentioned, please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to know your thoughts and they'll get me more excited and in the mood to read them if I'm not already. But I am definitely feeling a thriller soon, so they'll probably be one of the first ones that I'll pick up. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!